Mėgstantiems klausyti tinklalaidžių, jas kuriantiems ar norintiems kurti. Audiofestivalis Banguoja. Rugpjūčio 16-28 dienomis. Daugiau informacijos banguoja.lt. Organizatorius Nepatogus kinas.
What kind of bird? I mean, at the moment, there's a lot of rainbow lorikeets. Sometimes, on a very special occasion, the black cockatoos. But actually, we saw them more just after the fire hit Maruya. They all came into town. It was so spooky because they're huge. And I guess they were all burnt out. My name's Alice Ansara and I live in Maruya, which is a pretty small town on the far south coast of the east coast of Australia. So many of the bushfires we've had in Australia, the catastrophic bushfires, have been one day. This just went on and on and on.
Alice, it's Robin. You should evacuate from Maruya now. We're just heading down to Maruya to fight this fire. You need to evacuate now, all right? Come and stay at our place.
I think Esther, the 2-year-old, was having a nap, grabbed Mavis, the 4-year-old. I tried to be really calm, with them, like not be unrealistic or pretend that there weren't bushfires around us, but, they're so little. Like, I just tried to be calm and gentle and approachable all the time with them. So I was like, okay, darlings, I think there's a fire coming, a big fire. And so now it's time for us to go. Get your little bag. Quickly, I need you to put on your little outfit because I'd gotten outfits ready for them. So wool and cotton, things that weren't going to burn to their skin if we got caught in the fire. Put on your little fire outfits and let's hop in the car and go somewhere else. Like the whole sky was this Armageddon orange. Everything was orange. Everything was covered in smoke. So it was a very kind of end of the world feeling. For the first time, I saw the forests that had been burnt. We just drove for kilometres and kilometres through burnt bush, and it was like it had snowed. Everything was white with ash. It was beautiful. And the trees were birch trees in winter or something, kind of sticks of black. And we just went past property after property that was burnt. All that was remaining was the roof that was flattened on the ground. I remember my daughter just said to me, "Why are all the trees on fire?" They were still burning in the trees. And this trip that, normally takes 2 hours, 40 minutes to my mum's in Wollongong took us about 16 hours. Parts of the Princess Highway were literally burning. And we couldn't get through and would have to wait. And the amazing people who were clearing the roads were just working as hard as they could to get everybody out. And at one point at Burrell Lake, we could get no further. It was dusk and I'd just packed all the chickpeas, but really hadn't packed any other food. So we didn't really have food. The kids were, kind of ratty and we were anxious, and we lay down in a park and somebody came up to us and said, "Oh, you've got kids. Do you want to come and stay at our house until the road's clear?" Which was beautiful. I mean, and there were acts of generosity like this everywhere. Everybody tried to have a sleep and I just stayed awake the whole night. As soon as I saw that there was movement on the roads, I think it was at about 4:00 in the morning, I just got everybody up and moving on the road again. We eventually arrived in Wollongong. And it was like we'd come out of a war zone into a country of peace, and we were devastated. We were shell-shocked. It was like people couldn't understand what we had come from. And this is just in Wollongong. The fire front came past our place. The trees were on fire, and my partner spent 8-10 hours just putting out spot fires non-stop. So it didn't burn our house. But then the next day, and probably for about the next week, these black cockatoos just came in from the mountains, which was all burnt. The trees at our boundary fence, they were just tearing big strips of the burnt tree off, and it would have still been hot. Yeah, I'm sorry to say I don't know what they were doing, but I remember the sound of them. Oh, I feel really emotional, sorry. The devastation on the land and on the animals, on all the animals, was like something that is so hard still to come to terms with. And seeing all of those black cockatoos in a place where you would not normally see them, doing I don't know what, trying to find food or just survive, was so hard. And I think because everybody was just trying to survive themselves, I felt this real sense of impotence, and like I personally had let down, wildlife, and that, we as a species of humans have let down all the other species in such a horrific way. I think that's why I felt so sad.